Hi there, I'm Molly from Cornerstone Resources. Welcome back. I'm the HR Administrator, and today I will be going over how to use the Rota system. Now, this is for those of you that are interested in the Rota system and how it will fit your organisation, or maybe for someone who has already entered into the trial of the Rota system and just want to know how to get the full effect of it, how to make sure it's used to its full potential, so then you can make a decision on whether you'd like to go ahead with it. Okay, so today I will show you how to add shifts, how to view the rota as a whole, any reports that you can make from the rota, and what the employee will also see. Okay, so I will share my screen. Again, we are using the Stockport Spa system, which if you haven't watched the last video, it's a demo account. No information on here is real, so there are no client's data on there. Okay, so firstly, you would go into rota. Now, once you click into Rota, you're able to break down the Rota into different locations. Now, for the Stockport Spa, we have the default location, Bramall and Hazel Grove. It will be completely different for your organisation, but you're still able to split it down based on location. So the first thing you might notice is on the Rota, any leave that has been booked by an employee will be pulled through automatically onto the Rota. Now, you can override that, you can still add a shift. However, it is a good way to know who's available and who isn't. Okay, so there are multiple ways to add a shift. You can either simply click and, for example, add 9 to 5, enter, and select a role. Now that does it quite quickly, or if you want to go into more depth, all you do is double click on a space, select your role, and go in for your start time and end time. Okay. Now what you can also do is you can add a break. You can add a break time and the duration and whether or not it's paid. Now, it is worth saying that while a break is on the rota system, if an employee doesn't clock out for that amount of time, Breathe will assume that they haven't taken their break, so they will be paid if it is an unpaid break. So even if you add the break for 1 o'clock and it goes till 1:30, what we would advise is that any point in the day, the employee clocks out. Of course, it's better for them to clock out on their lunch break so you can see how long they had and if that works for the business. However, if, as we know, uncertain things can arise, the day can get busier, you can get more customers, anything like that. If that happens, even if they take it at 4 o'clock, even if they finish half an hour earlier, according to the system, that is fine. They just have to take that half an hour if it's unpaid, because like I said, Breathe will believe that they just haven't taken it and they will be paid for the full 8 hours rather than 7.5. Now, if you pay your employees for their breaks, that doesn't matter, then it doesn't apply to this situation. Okay, so you can add breaks, you can add multiple breaks at one time, and you can also add notes for the shift. So, for example, I want you to focus today on sales or anything like that. An employee will then be able to see it. Now, what you can also do is repeat the shift. So rather than having to go in and individually add a shift each time, you can just repeat it. And all you would do is press save. Now, as you can see here, there is a little red box with a line through it. What that means is that the employee is not notified of this shift yet. So while you're working on the shift and adding things and changing things, don't notify the employee, notify them once it has been finalised. Okay, so once an employee gets this, they will get a notification on their Breathe app saying you have a shift, do you want to clock on, basically. And that is completely up to you how you would like to approach the clocking on system. So you can either have an app on your phone in which you can clock on and clock out. Now you can put things in place that kind of mitigate risks with that. So for example, you can only clock on when you're in a certain location, or you can only clock on 5 minutes before your shift, anything like that. Another option is, which I will go into later, is the time clock option. Now, what that means is that you would have one laptop or tablet or phone, anything which is available to all staff members in the vicinity of your shop or office or wherever you're working, as long as they can access it. They would then clock on from that device. Obviously, that prevents people clocking on when they're not there, but so does the location factor. So there are ways to mitigate the risks on whichever way you want to go with for that. Okay, so that's how you'd add a leave, and all you would do is notify the user and share the shift and save. Now, what that means is that the user is now aware that this is a shift that's been, they can then come back to you. What the Breathe app also offers, which is great, is a shift swap. So if they get that shift and go, I don't really want to work that, or I can't work that for whatever reason, they can offer that shift up to their colleagues. Now, you have to approve that. Once they offer the shift, you can approve that, and then other employees can bid for that shift if they want to. This is particularly useful with 0-hour staff members. It allows for more engagement on shift. So, for example, if you can't be there, and it prevents just no-shows, it allows for more people to kind of cover that, really. Okay. So I've shown you that. Now, another thing that you can also do, which I know in my time in hospitality, is we print the rota quite a lot. So all you have to do is press print, and then that is how it will look for you. So for example, I haven't set any other shifts up, so it is just that one, and it will also again still show you who's on leave, and that would be how you would print that. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do in the rota, which is a great feature, is reports. Now, what you can do from this is any rota shifts that you've got planned, you can do timesheets, you can do sales reports, you can do late reports and coverage reports, as well as no-show reports. Now, what this means is I will show you a no-show report. So, for example, if we do today, and we will do the location by default location. Now, you can split the report up into many different factors. You can do it by department. You can do it by one specific user. For example, if they have an appraisal or a one-to-one where one of their objectives is to be better time management. You can do it by user, you can do it by roles or by projects. So all you do is you'd fill it out if you want to. If you don't want to fill out any of that, it will just generate for all of the employees on rota. So all you do then is press generate, and it will show you. So today I no-showed twice. Okay, so that comes out and it will tell you how long my shift was supposed to be, and that basically I didn't show up. It allows you to really simplify the process of not knowing who's on more on time. So, for example, if you're 2 minutes late to a shift, it's not the end of the world. However, that can add up over time. So you could always do it by user, and then the time range could be a year. And you could see how, in total, how long that person, how many times that person had been late, and how long that duration actually lasts, because we all know it does add up. Okay, so like I said, there are many other reports that you can do. You can also do rota shifts. So if we wanted to do this week and we'll do any location, you generate, and it shows all the rota shifts that are in place. And it also shows you the total hours based on how many people have worked and when. Now, it is worth noting that the rota shift report will not work if you have not shared the shift. So even if it's in its planning phase and it's pretty much permanent, if the employee isn't aware and it isn't notified, it will not show up on this report. Also, this report does not show lateness or no-shows. It simply shows what is in the rota. Okay, and again, you can also do your timesheets. So we will do today, and we won't put any data in just so it goes over all employees, and we'll generate. So the only timesheet is for myself, and that's regarding how long I was actually logged in for. So I was only logged in for 5 minutes. It was quite a short shift. But yeah, so that's how you do your timesheets, and that's, you can compare that then to your rota if you wanted to, or you can use this for payroll means. Okay, now what you can also do is go into your manager dashboard. Now, what your manager dashboard shows you is the percentage of your staff that are on time, today's hours, so anything that's planned. You've got who's working today, starting soon or just finished, and then you've also got tomorrow that you can look at. In addition, you've got your shift offers. So like I said, on the app, you can offer a shift, and this is for any of you to approve. And any shift swaps that have actually taken place. So this is once you've approved them and another colleague has bid for that shift, you can then accept that and it will go into shift swaps. You can also view availability. So this is when someone who is on a 0-hour shift, they obviously don't have leave, they would have just unavailability. So you can do it via leave, sickness, any other leave such as maternity or anything like that, or they can add unavailability on the app. This is again for 0-hour staff. So this is when they say in 2 weeks I've got a wedding, I cannot work on that day. It means that you can't schedule them for that shift. Now we've also got the employee dashboard. Now this, again, it is very similar. You've got your overview, so any scheduled hours. You've got your rota, which will come up with your shifts. You've got your timesheets, like I just went through with you then. That's any lateness, anything like that. Any shift trades that you've put up, so you can do what you've offered and what you've applied for. So that's if I don't want a shift and I've offered it up, or if someone else offers a shift and I go, oh, I quite fancy the extra money this month, I'll apply for that. You can see all of that there, and you've also, again, got your availability. So I can simply add here, add unavailability all day, once until, and then I can put why, for example, wedding, or I know people in uni, anything like that. You can just add your unavailability there. Okay, and you've also got your people in the rota. Now, this is very similar to the people on what I went through before with your profiles and things like that. It is to simply show you that they are on the rota system. You can also do it by location. So, for example, you've got your roles and you've got permissions. So they are employees, which means they are the only permissions they have. Okay, so that's everything for the rota system. It is quite a short one today. It is a very effective tool when used correctly, and I hope this video does help you do that. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.